I think that this is a totally political battle today, even more than ever. Yes, it's true, and you have described it so well. These conspiracy theories have been the basis all over the centuries and even the millennia for every persecutions of the Jews. So the temptation to put it in a moral in a moral panorama, in a large context where the right and the left are all against us, and we will fight for the sake of our honor, even before of our political and freedom. It's very strong, but I think that nowadays the battle is mainly political, and this brings us to the necessity of distinguish who are the most terrible enemies that we have now in front, and where we have to fight. Now, the indications are not given by the conspiracy theory itself. You know, if you go, there are libraries, bibliotheques about this issue. If you only go and read so many books that have been written about this subject, you will find any kind of disgusting, obscene, vulgar kind of accusation toward the Jews, and the first reaction is disgust, and you would like not to deal with that. And this is the first sensation that I have. Then you go deep into it, and what do you find over there? You find that Ismail Milhem and Mohammed Shtaye deal with it, like the Iranians also, from the political, precise point of view of the occupation, as it has been said already by several colleagues of mine. It is the settlers, it is the soldiers, it is Israel in its main core, as it is defined in the fantasies, in the hateful fantasies of these very specific enemies that describe the way that in their mind the Jews spread the illness throughout, first of all, their own world and societies, and all over the world. Now, should we be worried about that? I think that we must be very worried, but we just, I try to make it very short. Of course, the analysis is long, and I have written already about it. So whoever will like will find my articles about that. But I want to point out just this very point. Nobody in the civilized world will frankly accept this point of view. There will not be Macron, no Angela Merkel, and not the European Union, and not the United Nations that would say, oh yes, it's true that the Jews spread coronavirus. Nobody will say that. But there is a civilized way of saying that. There is a civilized way that just consists in the idea that the poor Palestinian being occupied, of course, it's not the Jews that spread the morb inside the occupied, illegally occupied, as Alan said, territories. But it is because they are closed inside, that they could never develop their own structures. Actually, they suffer more than anybody else because of the terrible story that imposed on them not to exercise their ability in constructing a society, and their hospitals, and their health system, and whatever else a free society can do. So whoever is in favor of a free society then will be able to say that, no, it's not the Jews. Otherwise, you will consider us anti-Semite. But it's true, it is the occupation that has caused this situation. Now, this puts a very clear link, as it is, as we have read, and the IHRA, as you call it, IHRA, has been adopted in so many places. But we have kept considering the IHRA a prayer and not an imposition. Maybe only the United States, I'm sorry, I don't see Carr over there, but Carr knows very well that the executive order is the only state maybe Austria too, that imposes the ICRA as a law. You know, it's forbidden in the United States to continue delegitimizing the state of Israel through anti-Semite fantasies. It's forbidden because otherwise you will take from the universities, the movements, the parties that promote this point of view, all the financing and the political help and the intellectual legitimization because it's forbidden. So what I'm saying now is that we must start using now the ICRA and any other tool we have, like the one that has been used 2 days ago, stopping and certainly Yossi, that is a promoter of this kind of action, has an intellectual part in it at least, as stopping the financing of the activities of the Palestinian Authority at the moment when the asata, the incitement, becomes dangerous, strong, and anti-Semite. And when I say anti-Semite, I relate exactly to the fact of using the occupation as an agent, as a vector of anti-Semitism. We must decide that the use of occupation in this way is a vector, is an agent of anti-Semitism. It's not a way of exercising freedom of speech. So this is the way I see it. We are in front of a strong political struggle. Look, we
can you
have,
summarize?
Course, let me finish just one sentence.
Okay.
As Malcolm says, we must defend, of course, the Jews in the diaspora. This is something that we have to do, and we must recognize that they are endangered by this kind of situation. But also Macron, also Angela Merkel, also the European Union will theoretically defend them. The only one that they will really attack is the state of Israel under this flag. So this is something that we have to keep in our mind.